Well, after the arrival of the vehicles for the ICRC, now 3 vehicles, as you can see, for the military wing of Hamas have arrived to the site. They are bringing 2 Israeli captives. They are Avera, Mengistu, and Tal Shoham. They are right now one of the key commanders of the military wing of Hamas is sending and handing over the official documentation for the release and the handover of the Israeli captives. Now, the 3 cars that arrived to the site are quite taken very undisclosed roads, and the Israeli captives are still inside these vehicles. They did not get out from the vehicle so far. But as you can see in the frame, that this masked fighter is now telling and delivering a speech to the Palestinian crowds here, giving the confirmation that the Israeli captives will be completely released today, including Tal Shoham. And he is trying right now to mention that he was operating in operation units in the Israeli Mossad agency. And the second Israeli captive that will be released today is Avera Mengistu, who has been completely abducted during his entry to the Gaza Strip in 2015. Now, this top commander is returning back to check the last confirmation to the ICRC members to take a close look on the Israeli captives who are in these cars. Now we can see that one of the ICRC members is moving along with the key commander to the vehicle in order to take the last confirmation on the Israeli captives who are inside these vehicles. Well, one of the fighters now is opening the door of the vehicle to bring the Israeli captives out of the vehicle, and now the official in the International Committee of the Red Cross is carrying out last minute confirmation on the well-being of those captives, their identities, and to start later the handover of the Israeli captives to the ICRC. Now, the car is escorted by masked fighters from the unit that has been responsible of securing and guarding the Israeli captives who spent a very long period in Hamas's captivity in the Gaza Strip after 15 months. We can see now that the ICRC member is returning back with the confirmation that the handover will start now. We can see another female worker is heading to the stage in order to sign the documentation and to sign the certificate for releasing the Israeli captives. Usually, these sorts of preparations were made by the military wing of Hamas in order to document the entire process, to show transparency, the smoothness of the handover, and the level of credibility that had been widely seen during previous handovers, and to avoid any sort of unnecessary criticism that once emerged from one of the handovers that took place earlier that witnessed different tense nature. Now, both sides are now signing the paper of the handover of the Israeli captives, and soon this masked leader will move to the vehicle in order to bring the Israeli captives and to be handed over to the International Committee of the Red Cross. We can see now 4 vehicles are still waiting at the other end of the road. They are escorted by Hamas fighters, and they will facilitate their departure very soon. Now, with the handover today, the first phase of the ceasefire agreement will come to an end between Hamas and Israel, as negotiations for the second phase must take place within the coming days. But absolutely, the scene at the moment is one of the many awaited scenes for Palestinians who have been celebrating this successful handover in this very devastated landscape in which the Israeli occupation forces operated for more than 6 months, destroying all sorts of essential civil infrastructure, schools, universities, and key shelters. And it's worth noting that Rafah city has hosted hundreds of thousands of Palestinians who were displaced from their original towns and villages before the beginning of the military incursion for the city back in May 2024. Now the sign operation has come to an end, and what we are expecting now that the Israeli captives Avera, Mengistu and Shoham will be now released from Hamas's custody to be handed over to the ICRC members. Now, absolutely, it's quite clear that the fighters are now opening the door of the vehicle, and now the one of the Israeli captives will completely brought to be handed over to the members of the ICRC. Now we can see that Shoham has been completely now emerging from the vehicle and will definitely move to the stage, because this has been one of the main protocols that the military wing of Hamas has been preparing to. Now he's escorted by two fighters from the shadow unit. He looks completely in a very good health condition, wearing a new dress and uniform that has been handed over to him by the military wing of Hamas, and now he is standing in the middle of the stage surrounded by fighters with different banners at the background showing the military operations that were made by the Al-Qassam brigades. And now at the other end, Avera Mengistu has been brought by another batch of fighters from the vehicle, and he is now moving slowly to the stage accompanied by those fighters, and the process is documented at the moment by the Media Information Department. As you can see, this is the scene at the moment, and they will shortly be completely handed over to the International Committee of the Red Cross.
All right, Tariq, so we are looking at pictures now. That is Shoham, who's been released, Israeli captive, who's been released in Rafah in southern Gaza, and Avera Mengistu, who's interestingly been held in Gaza for around 10 years.